welcome. My name is Alex, the Financial Guru, and I'm back at the Diplomat Center with one of my favorite people in the world, Apostle Linda Collymore.
Hi.
We're here at the Ambassador's Lounge.
The Ambassador's Lounge. I love it.
So today is going to be a special episode. This is our second episode.
Yeah.
And the year is winding down. And I have to say, this year, it started amazing for me. Phenomenal. This was one of my best years I've probably ever had in a long time. Yes, it was delicious. It started deliciously and everything was just going great. It was like, whoop. And then I'll say about maybe April. For me, about
August.
Yeah, I'll say like for
July,
me, it's just
like that.
I was just like, what the heck? Like, what is going on here?
I don't know, like Jesus was coming back.
Yeah.
And forgot to fix our finances.
Yeah, I was like, listen, if Jesus come back right now, I'll be okay. Like I am okay. If the rapture comes tonight.
Exactly.
just
we won't need those finances.
Yeah, just get it out the way. Man, this was a very challenging, interesting, yet I wish I could say methodic, because at least if it was methodic, then it means I'm in control.
Yeah, that's it.
But gosh, it was
a faith building.
This is definitely a faith building year.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you today, what is your thoughts for people who are struggling financially right now? Because everyone that I've spoken to in the last, I'll probably say maybe 2 months, the last 2 months are struggling financially. And even though, guys, you see me doing all these stocks and trades and things of that nature, that isn't to pay me for the Alexander today. That's to pay the Alexander in a few years from now when I decide to retire. Yeah. So it's just like I don't get to reap the benefits of it right now. Yeah. So like what is your advice or your insight when it comes to this? Because I think the people need to hear this.
They need to hear it. Well, first of all, listen, I'm happy to be here, and I want you guys to take a moment and share this, because there's so many people out there who are in this same situation.
Yes.
I think the first thing we need to understand, Alex, is that we're not alone.
Yes.
Don't feel like you are the only one that's going through financial pressure. In fact, the countries, the nations, as it were, are going through financial pressure. I mean, we could use some of their trillions of dollars, right?
Come on.
But we speaking into existence. Yeah. We could use their trillions of dollars, but the truth of the matter is the dollar is not the same like it was last year.
Yeah.
You're facing, the nations are facing all kinds of challenges financially, economic-wise. And not to mention, currency is changing. So in the midst of all of that, it's a lot of transition that's going on. So
it is.
So don't feel suicidal. Don't feel like, I can't take this. No, you could take it. And it should build your faith. If you don't know God, it's really a good time to get to know him.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's one. But in times of financial crisis, first of all, you don't want to believe that you're by yourself. You're not. But then what I would do, and I have done this when I have been in times of financial crises, and I'm going to say this before I even talk about what to do. The Chinese do not believe that, they don't believe in crisis. They don't believe that it is a bad word. They actually believe that it is opportunity. So when you get into something like this, you want to know that this is an opportunity to change the game.
Yeah.
Most times it's in crises. That's the mother of invention. That's what they say.
Wow.
All right. So the first thing that I would do, first of all, is to ask God for wisdom. For wisdom of how to handle what you're dealing with, how to handle what you're in. That's very, very important. But secondly, this is just as important when you ask God for wisdom, because the Bible says he will give you that wisdom. You want to get all of your bills.
Yep.
everything. Like, you got to stop for a moment so you can get this stuff rectified. You can't get everything together and keep moving. You literally have to take out a moment and serve yourself. And in so doing, when you serve yourself, relax yourself, then take everything, all of the bills, and start laying them out, write them out. Put them on a board, if you will, so that you can see what you're working with, see what you're dealing with. That's the very first thing that I would do, and write out the amounts of what you owe, to whom, and when the due date is. That's very important, when the due date is. Because if you don't be careful, you're going to end up going past the due date. And some of us probably have. But you want to try to avoid going past the due date, at least that 30-day mark. Let's put it that way, because you don't want that 30-day hit. After you lay all of that stuff out, just look and see what you're working with. You can even total it out. A lot of people, honestly, Alex, a lot of people don't like looking at their expenses.
Oh,
it's almost like it scares them. It
does.
Intimidates them. And I get that. But you can't deal with something that you're not willing to confront.
Yep.
You see, so you got to confront. You got to just get up the gusto. God's going to help you through it. But you got to have the understanding of what it is you're dealing with, right? So that's one. You're going to lay everything out. And then what you want to do is determine where you are supposed to be. All right? It might not mean you've got everything cleared off, but you want to at least have some kind of goal of where you want to be. Yeah. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. So now in the middle, you can strategize between, what's bad and what's where you want to be, and kind of work your way, to that middle part. But when you determine that, this is a part, number 4, where people don't really like. They don't want to call the creditors.
Yikes.
They really don't.
And I preach it all the time. But that is always the struggle with majority of the people.
It's intimidating. But see, that's why we need to understand that we're not alone. Because I remember one time I did not want to answer the phone from a creditor. And they kept calling and kept calling. I'm like, I don't have any money to give you. They just kept calling and calling. And so lo and behold, I said, you know what? Let me just confront this creditor and say, look, I just don't have it. Yeah. And when I answered the phone, not only were they so empathetic, they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to push your payment back 3 months. You're not going to have to pay anything. Now, sounds crazy. Yeah. But God will give you favor.
Yeah, that's
if
right.
you can just look it in the face.
Just look it in the face.
And confront it.
Yes.
You don't know what can happen. You don't know what they're going to say. So anyway, so they pushed it back 3 months, gave me a breathing time. And I'm going to tell you something else as well. Be bold enough to ask the creditor as you look through this, say, hey, can you push back? Go down through each one of them. All they can do is say no.
That's it.
Go down through each one of them and say, listen, I've got an emergency situation. It was something that I couldn't control. And this is even better, Alex. If, say, for instance, there's a hurricane.
Come on.
And we didn't, say, for instance, we didn't get the hurricane.
Yes.
But it is, what's the word you call it?
FEMA.
Yeah, FEMA. But it's pronounced as a disaster area.
Correct.
It's declared.
It's declared as federal emergencies.
That's it. And it's like a disaster area. Even though we may not have gotten hit, let me tell you something. You can rake up during that time.
Yes, you sure can.
Because the government has certain concessions.
Yes.
Where you can push back those bills.
Yep.
And that's why, some people pray for hurricanes and some people pray for
and just
it all depends on who
chime
you are,
in, this is not to avoid the debt.
Not at all.
This is not to avoid it.
To give you breathing room.
Yes, just to give you breathing room.
So you can get yourself organized and get yourself together.
Sometimes emergencies happen. Yeah. And when these emergencies happen, the nest egg isn't enough to cover you nowadays and to keep you on track. So when these things happen, I'll give you an example. Like, first off, this is something every person needs to remember. FEMA, you pay for it.
That's right.
Your property taxes pay for it. So every time you pay your annual bill and your taxes that's due, you are paying into it.
For all of it.
Yes. So it's
a benefit
all correct.
Really that's coming back to you.
It's a benefit that you've already paid for, and that you are entitled to dip
That's
into when these disasters strike in your area.
True.
It happens.
Absolutely.
So I'll never forget when the whole COVID thing happened, right? So a lot of people were calling their mortgages and saying, hey, this. Well, I fell on hard times too because I didn't expect my salary to get cut in more than half.
Absolutely.
I never expected that.
Absolutely.
So when they told me, hey, unfortunately, we got to cut your salary because we're not bringing in the type of income that we're bringing in, so we have to cut you by half. My bills are not made for half of my salary.
That's right.
I never expected it at all. So
especially when you're in business for yourself as well, and you're pushing, trying to get to goals and things like that, and you get caught in the middle of this thing. It's just kind of like, oh my God, you have to literally stop and process through that.
You really do. So when I called my mortgage company and I told them and explained what happened, they was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll push it back for you and we'll extend it, and it won't be no interest, no penalties. I thought that was like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Absolutely.
I couldn't believe it.
But you want to research, because all mortgage companies are different.
Correct. All of them are different.
You really want to research. Just because that may have happened to Alex or myself, you've got to make sure that you research exactly what's going to happen, because you don't want to get caught with your pants down. Let's just put it that way.
You don't want to get caught with your pants down.
You really don't. But all of these things are really important in order for you to navigate through the season. You don't want the season to kill you. Neither do you want to abuse the season. Yeah. You want to be able to utilize the season as a launching pad so you can get better.
Yes.
Come out better,
You hitting it literally right on the head.
Yeah.
And, I guess that's why this podcast is so crucial, because it's not only is it great encouragement, but it's also great to know that there's others out there who's going through it.
It's true.
Like
a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it.
It's like it's so embarrassing.
Listen, do not be embarrassed, because I promise you, we all going through it.
Absolutely.
We are all going through it. So There might be a lot of pretenders out there, people faking the funk.
It's hard times.
I do tons and tons of credits. I literally have over 300 clients in my database just for me.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating to you, people from all walks of life. You have people who have no GED. You have some with GEDs. You have some has their doctorate degree.
Yeah.
You have judges, lawyers, politicians that are all struggling right now.
It's just at a higher dollar value on each side.
So
the income is high, the expenses are high.
There you go. Right? Matter of fact, we just saw, right, one of the wealthy millionaires who signed one of the most prolific rap artists ever.
Yes.
He was raided.
Wow.
And he's in jail.
Oh my
incarcerated.
God.
And look, just imagine what he's going through.
Oh my
Our
God.
expenses don't equal up to his. And it's so bad to where he's forced to sell off
all of
his shares, his equity, his assets. Same thing with the opposite side of the coin.
It's true.
The one who had another prolific rapper on the west side.
Yes.
Right? Built this mega conglomerate empire and was forced to sell that empire to another artist.
Wow.
And it just goes to show you the people who were making the millions, hundreds of millions in the 90s, 2000s.
That's so true.
They are struggling right now, just like the average person.
That's right.
Do not get discouraged at all.
Do not be embarrassed.
Do not be embarrassed.
Not be embarrassed.
Don't clown anyone for struggling right now, because this could be your boat.
That's true.
Don't laugh at them at the dock.
That's true.
Your boat could be coming up next.
That's right.
So,
And remember, the Bible says the wealth of the wicked.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring up scriptures because I really believe in the principles of the word of God. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. We believe it's transferring.
Yes.
Now, here is the thing about it, though. You've got to see these hard times or these uncomfortable times, I'd like to say it that way, as spaces of opportunity.
Come on.
Because it's in those moments where you have no idea what God has planned for you.
You really don't.
Sometimes he's trying to dismantle everything that you have been doing in order to give you an opportunity of a lifetime. So whereas your finances may be going down in one vein, keep your mind open, because you could be pivoting into something else, all right? Let me say this to you. This is the time like where you look at all of your expenses, you look at everything that you have while you're going through this mode, and start cutting back stuff that you really know you don't need.
Yes.
Start cutting back different things. You might not go to the hair salon 12 times a month. You might go 6 times or something. It doesn't mean that you have to go around looking poor, looking haggard, looking as though you're on hard times. Fix yourself up, make yourself look good, but make sure that you look at what you have. Everybody, Alice, can cut back somewhere.
Everybody.
Everyone can cut back somewhere. Instead of getting Nikes,
No,
don't.
We ain't got to do that now.
I knew you were going to chime in there
instead
somewhere.
of Nikes, maybe
I don't really wear tennis shoes, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe
okay?
Reeboks.
It doesn't, I don't really like Reeboks, but nonetheless.
But no
anyway,
Bobos.
No offense to Reebok.
Bobos.
Of course, no Bobos.
Yeah, no Bobos.
Okay, cut back where you know it would not compromise your standard. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, and listen, and you can get them on sale too.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay full price for stuff. Know how to find the sales. There's quality that's out there, and just be aware and be intentional when you're spending.
Me. So
You don't want no Bobos.
one of my biggest, definitely no Bobos.
Not the Bobos.
One of my biggest expenses is always food.
I believe
I am
that,
a
Alex.
foodie.
You are a foodie.
I am a foodie.
Wow.
Right? I have no
the way
budget.
you even talk about food,
Yes.
it makes me hungry. And
Yes.
I'm not even hungry most of the time.
I'm one of
Ridiculous.
those.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say thank you, Lord, for good genes and good graces.
Yes.
Because I should be triple this size for the way I eat.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So I eat a lot, and I go out and eat a lot.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of times, sometimes thousands per month when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And I'm a type of person, I love to share. So if I eat good,
That's
the people
right.
around
You
me
want
have
that.
to eat good too.
I
That's
agree
how
with
I
you.
eat.
I
So
agree with you. But
what-
you may not have to take them with you all the time.
Exactly. And you see, I'm learning that now.
Yeah. You may
So
not,
I had to change up my budget this year to where it's like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me shift some things.
Yeah. It's good. That's
Yeah.
a service gift. You're it's like you have the gift of serving.
Yes.
And you love that grace gift. It brings people into your space. But then wisdom is the principal thing too.
Yes,
you want to
it
know
is.
when and how many times to do it.
Correct. So now I'm restructuring my whole budget, and I'm making sure that I'm purchasing things that are, if it doesn't make me money,
That's good.
then it's
That's
not
good.
worth the purchase.
That's good. You have to think entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
You have to
Everything
think
you
for
do.
everything
The
you do.
moment that money leaves your pocket,
Yeah.
it has to come back
That's right.
some way, somehow. So if
Yeah.
you can't, if it can't make some type of return, and it doesn't matter
So
what it
true.
is, it can be food, it can be sneakers, I have a massive shoe collection, and I had to now stop
Yeah.
and put that on pause because it's
Yeah.
just like, first off, I can't wear all of them.
Right.
And what's the point
Right.
of adding, and I'm not going to wear it.
Absolutely.
So,
It's like your eyes are really
yeah,
bigger,
my
you know?
eyes are just,
Yeah. Pulling
feeding
it
a
off.
fetish.
Yeah.
So it's just going forward.
And
like
it's
I've
knowing
changed
your
my
season. It's knowing
Yeah.
when you can do that
Correct.
and get away with it.
Yes.
And when it's just not wise to do a whole lot.
Yes, this is not the
Yeah,
season right now.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
Right. And I like how you say make sure that it's making you money because, granted, minorities more particularly.
We have the biggest
African-
spending power. we spend the
biggest
most.
commercial.
Yeah.
We spend, but we don't manufacture, we don't produce.
Correct.
And so we need to change, use that opportunity to change your mindset. What am I getting with this? How can I flip this? How can I turn this over? You know, those kinds of things. Okay, for instance, you might buy a camera, you might buy a TV just to watch it, just to take pictures, but how can I flip this?
Yes.
Which leads me to this next place. You need to look for something, some other income producing things that can close that gap between your expenses and your income.
Yep.
This is the season. Let me tell you something. During the COVID, that whole era, that 2020, 2021, that kind of a thing, there was the greatest number of entrepreneurs that jumped out.
I loved it.
Listen to me.
I loved it.
Let me tell you. Now the only thing is that I wish they would have gotten more education on what they were doing, because some of them were doing some stuff. They weren't even legal. It's like, you know, hey, you don't even have a license.
Yeah, it's true. But you had to jump out there.
But they jumped out there.
Yeah, you had to jump out there.
Well, when you get your income just cut, like you just said, half of everything, you better do something.
Yeah.
You need to do something. Something inside of you should motivate you to do it. It's just you need to educate yourself in terms of what you're doing, but you can't just sit there and you can't just move on one income, to be very honest with you. You can't.
It's,
you know, I know some
at least
people
not in
are saying,
Florida.
I don't want to be a business owner. I'm like, okay, you're a business owner working for somebody else anyway.
That's
because you've got to take out that time, learn your craft, that you've got to sell yourself all the time, even when you're employed with someone else. So use this as an opportunity to grow your thinking, grow your mindset, grow your environment, grow your talent, and grow your finances.
Yes. You know, I believe what 2020 taught the majority of people, including myself, especially myself, was that we were underdeveloped.
That's so good.
We thought we were at a place that we wasn't.
That's good.
And it taught me so much. Like, what I really loved about 2020 and the COVID era was that when COVID came out, all these companies was forced to change. There was no more of, this is not our policy.
That's right.
Oh, we do not deliver.
They became more inclusive.
That was it.
They became more inclusive.
100%.
You want to stay home? Sure, stay home.
We'll send the food to you.
Absolutely.
You see?
You want your baby to be, oh, no problem.
That's it. We'll tell you right there.
Well, because, too, you got to remember, people were going out. It was a mass exodus from these corporations. They're out there now doing their own business, and now these corporations can't find no one to work.
Yeah. And you see,
it's amazing how people just got so business oriented. They didn't want to work for anybody. You can't find anybody to work.
You couldn't find nobody to work.
I don't know how they're going to send everybody away later on, because we won't have no one to work.
Yeah, we're not going to have anybody to work. But that also proves that, notice how corporations are so quick to adapt to survive.
Yes.
But we as people are the complete opposite. You see what I'm saying? If guys, if you're working a field and that field is not enough to cover your bills, you have to adapt and change. Change. Go to a different field. If you're working some type of industry that you believe is dying out or is being replaced by AI, upgrade your skills. Learn how to work with AI.
And don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Because the change is coming.
The greatest enemy to opportunity and progress and prosperity.
And the change is coming. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's coming. It is here.
It is.
It's not even coming. It's here. It's already here.
It is.
So if you're not a part of it, you're behind.
Yeah. Right.
And you got to make that conscious decision to say, okay, you know what? I am going to make the investment. I'm going to invest in myself.
That's right.
I have gained, I would say, maybe 6 new career paths.
I hear you, Alex.
Since COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff I never thought I would do.
When your back is up against the wall, it's either you die or you come out fighting.
Yeah, literally.
You have to literally make a choice.
I've never in my life worked so many different industries.
I don't think any of us have.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, it's ridiculous.
I don't think any of us have. I did so much stuff. I not only learned some new careers, I made some money.
I did. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, let me tell you something. There's money to be made. You know, don't get it twisted. Yeah, things are happening and certain things are, you know, in terms of finances are going on, but don't think by any stretch of the imagination that no one has money and that there's no money to be made. I believe that there's some hidden things that through these seasons of pressure financially, if we handle it right, there will be some other doors that open to us because our eyes open to see something more than where we are.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so don't give up hope.
Do not give up hope. I'm really glad for this episode.
Me too.
Yeah, I really believe not only did I need to get it off my chest, but I believe that there's a lot of people out there who are feeling the exact same way, and they need to hear something like this so they can say, you know what? Maybe that's the spark. Like I'm imagine, right? I had no incentive to go back to school. None.
Wow.
20 years later.
Yeah, sometimes it's
I'm
really
now
hard
chasing,
to go.
Yeah, I'm chasing my doctorates.
Look at that.
Like literally 20 years later.
Awesome.
So it just goes to show you.
What made you decide you wanted to do that?
You know, honestly, so what I do now, I'm extremely passionate about it. Okay. I love it, but it doesn't pay.
Right.
That's just the harsh reality.
It's an investment, though.
It is an investment.
But it's an investment.
But it just doesn't pay.
I got it.
And the lifestyle that I want to live, unfortunately, I would never be able to squeeze it out of that.
Understood.
I smile when I work, but my bills don't equate to it. That was the biggest thing.
Okay, you're talking about where you are now as opposed to now pursuing your doctor. I got you.
So that's why I said, okay, you know what? Let me do a whole career shift.
That's good.
So imagine, like, right? I'm about to be 40 and doing something.
Courage.
It does take courage. And
it's courage.
Like we said on the first episode, I'm not afraid to fail.
No.
I'm not.
And you can't be. Most billionaires, trillionaires, they weren't afraid to fail.
Correct.
They would never be where they are if they were afraid to fail.
And I'll give a quick little moment of transparency. So when it came to stocks.
Tell them everything?
Not everything, but just a small little glimpse.
Piece.
So
just a little piece.
2 weeks ago, I think I was down in the market. Yeah, I think I'd probably say 2 weeks or maybe 2.5 weeks ago.
Got it.
Before Thanksgiving. I was down in the market. In the last 2.5 weeks, I believe I made about 30,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
That's a good breakthrough. That's more than
that's
what
an
some
amazing
people would
breakthrough.
Make in
now,
a year.
Here's the thing. There was a part of me about a month and a half ago that wanted to end it for the year.
Got it.
If I would have ended, I would have.
When you say end it for the year,
just say, you know what, I'm done trading for the year.
Okay,
that's
trading.
it.
Got it.
Let me just. I've already taken too many losses.
Got it.
It's frustrating. Let me just get rid of it. Be done. Bam. I'll wait till next year. Another opportunity. I would have accepted a $12,000 loss.
Yes.
So I would have accepted, and I was okay with a negative $12,000. Yeah. And because God had other plans, and I didn't give up.
Did you feel like it was God kind of pushing you to invest again? Or
no, honestly,
what was it
I can't. I didn't even feel that God was
telling you to do anything
I
specific.
can't. Because I was just like, you know what? If I give up now, then all was for naught. And I'm like, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I know things can change. And at the end of the day, you have the discipline. Yeah. Just utilize it. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you're good at. And I got back into my strategy, and it slowly recouped. Then as I recouped it, it lost it again. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, God.
That's going to happen.
I should just, and I said, no. You know what? Stick to it. This is what you do. And then bam. So imagine, right? In 2.5 weeks, I was able to recoup the whole 12,000 loss and profit.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, do not give up at all. Right. Like, I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not. I'm telling you, I can show you my bank account.
You only have one life.
You only got one life. You only got one chance to get it right.
And you don't want to be saying, I should have,
I don't believe in that shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't believe in that. So it's and this can be for anything. If there's a person that you're dating and you wanted to be with them and for whatever reason didn't happen, you don't want it to be, oh man, I should have been with them or I should have treated them the best way. listen, take advantage, get them, go apologize, make it right, do whatever it is you got to do.
Sounds personal to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not me.
Yes. Not you,
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah. I don't have anyone. I don't have anyone that I should have,
I don't know
would have.
how we got on finances to that, but okay, no problem.
I don't have anybody who should have, would have, could have.
Okay, yes, I understand.
I've accepted all my blessings from the relationships and all my curses.
Open the door.
Yeah. She's like, Alex? Like, yeah, I'm sorry. No.
That's funny.
I don't have any of those. But take that into all facets of life. If you notice that you want to be someplace or you want to be with something or you want to do something.
That's right.
Don't allow the fear or the discouragement.
That's good.
Women, if you're on Section 8, you have multiple children. Don't allow that to hinder you.
And define you.
Yeah, to say, you know what,
you.
I don't want to work or I don't want to get this career because now I'm going to make too much. Mm-hmm. You're automatically cutting your legs off, right? You're automatically cutting your legs off from running. Yeah. It's not worth it. Trust me what I'm telling you. Do not give up. Yeah. Fellas, if you have a prison record or if you went to jail and you've done bad as a child and then now you're an adult and you're like, I don't want to pursue this because I won't be able to get in because of my record. Do not cut yourself off. Don't cut your legs off. That's right. Do not give up. Go in. I'm telling you this right now. Go in. Man, who knows? Maybe Trump, because
you never know.
You notice that he's a felon and he's president.
Oh.
Anything is possible.
We had to go there, didn't we?
We had to.
On a better note, though.
But it's for the encouragement. It's for the encouragement.
No, it is.
Anything's possible.
It is. And the bottom line, you just want to believe that anything is possible.
Yes.
And I cannot say this enough. With God, all things are
all
possible.
Things.
Everything. It doesn't matter what your circumstance is. It doesn't matter where you came from, what labels you have. God is one of the greatest label makers and the label breakers.
Yes.
So you want to be all that you could be. The best way to show who God is when the situation looks so horrible, but you stay consistent in your belief and consistent in your pursuit in coming out of what you're coming out of to go into what you're going, where it turns heads and they say, wow, how in the world? And then you say, God did it.
That's right.
God did it. But one thing that I do want to say, though, before we leave, all of these things that we've been sharing is from personal experience. These are, I may have some stuff written down, but it's from personal experience. These are things that I do myself, and these are things that Alex does himself. But one thing that I was never really that good at, and I'm going to be transparent at this moment, that was relaxing.
I suck at that.
Oh my
Even
God.
to this day.
It's like when your mind is so busy thinking about finance, thinking about how I'm going to do that you can't even stop.
You can't,
and go get a dinner.
Yeah.
Or stop and go on a staycation. Or, and notice staycation versus vacation.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be spending a whole bunch of money going out. I mean, we happen to be in Florida, right down the beach is right down the street. Enjoy where you are. Maximize where you are. If it's a loved one, take some quality time and spend that, whether it be a child, mother, father, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. You want to take out some quality time and get some mental therapy for yourself. Just do something where it unwinds you, detoxes you, and then what it does is it helps you reset.
Yep, sure does.
Gosh, man, it helps you reset. And when you can get that time to reset, then you can think more clearly, and God will give you witty inventions as to, what you could do next. So that is so important. I mean,
ooh, that just encouraged me. You know what? I'm going to take a vacation tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to do one next week, but
I'm going to do one next week too, but I'm going to take one tomorrow.
Two of them.
Yeah, I have to. Maybe
I need to do one too.
Half a day for tomorrow.
Half a day?
Yeah, half a day tomorrow.
I might take an hour or two.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, you go take a...
I'm done. Like, I'm just going to, I need it.
Though. No, but it's beautiful. I mean, your creative juices begin to... Listen, if you play an instrument or something, or even if you sing, you know, just take some time, get a little karaoke, get a little something on your phone. And just sing to yourself. Change the atmosphere, just unwind, detox yourself, and then, hey, go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the encouragement. To our viewers and listeners out there, just want to tell you thank you for tuning in. You know, guys, don't allow this market and the way life is right now to discourage you. Trust me, we've been there. We've been there. I'm still there.
We're entrepreneurs. We're business owners. We are community organizers. We are ministry people. I mean, I don't know what we have not seen, and I'm not trying to find out what we haven't seen.
Correct. I'm not trying to find
out what we haven't seen. But been there, done that, got the hat, got the T-shirt.
Yes.
And we're still here.
Still here.
And happy and hopeful about the future. You got to stay hopeful about the future, because the future is for you, and you are a winner. And last but not least, you will finish strong.
Come on.
Ooh, I felt that.
Yeah.
In my shundai.
Right in the shundai.
Right in the shundai. You will finish strong.
In the shundai.
In the shundai.
So everyone, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. The Ambassadors Lounge.
The Ambassadors Lounge.
We'll see you next week for episode 3.
Yay.
Take care. I'm ATFG, and this is Dr. Linda Collymore. Y'all take care. Take care, everyone.
Peace out, Cub Scout.